Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Post Falls Urban Renewal Agency Commission meeting for June 21st, 2018. Director Fountain, would you please call the roll?
Baltzell.
Here.
Carstensen.
Here.
Crosby.
Here.
Horn.
Here.
Hauser.
Here.
Coles.
Here.
Davis. Here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We do have a quorum for sure. Would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, again, thank you all for being here today on the first day of summer, although I'm not sure we're going to have a lot of summer today. Could be a wild one weather-wise. Ceremonies, appointments, and announcements, unless somebody else has something they would like to add. I don't have anything this morning for that. Okay, moving right along to conflict disclosure. Do any of the commissioners have any conflicts with anything on the agenda today that they would like to disclose? Okay, seeing none, we're moving on to the consent calendar. Director Fountain.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Item A in the consent calendar is the Commission meeting minutes of May 17th. Item B is the District Review Committee minutes of May 21st. Item C is the workshop minutes, June 12th. Item D is the payables for this month totaling $7,141.56. And item E is the bank activity report, which shows total in all funds of $3,628,343.66 and accrued interest for the month of $2,827.21. Item F is the financial reports as of May 31st, 2018. Your approval of the consent calendar will authorize the transfer of $2,827.21 accrued interest to the general fund and transfer to the Community First checking account $7,141.56 for the general payables. I would answer any questions.
Any questions on the payables, the consent calendar? If not, we need a voice vote.
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Thank you. Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Committee updates, finance and policy. Commissioner Crosby.
The Finance Committee has reviewed the May bank statement and financial statement and approved it. We've also met and reviewed the first draft of the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget and made some revisions to that budget that the Executive Director is working on. We've reviewed the status of a maturing CD and continue to continue our recommendation that we leave those funds in the state funds LPIG account to maintain additional liquidity. And then we've reviewed the timing for the payoff of the Washington Trust loan, and we are looking at any impact that potential changes in the assessed values of properties will have on that projection going forward.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions on finance and policy? Okay, moving on. District review, Commissioner Coles.
We have nothing new since our last time.
Okay. And communications, property and personnel, Commissioner Carstensen.
Just, I talked to Director Fountain the other day regarding the website and video statistics report that you see at the end of your packet. And she said that there's been very, very, very low activity on that as far as people commenting and or even asking questions. And I asked what it was costing us to do that every month, and she said basically the cost is her time. And I'm not thoroughly convinced that from what she is saying or what we have seen, if it's worth the time to even do it anymore. And in today's environment, it's been active enough. I don't know that people are going onto this site and really researching it. So I would like to see if there's other comments or in my opinion, we could drop it. We can always restart it, I guess. But I'm not sure it's worth her time to be putting this all together.
Just a question, just for a point of clarification. Are you talking about the analytics report, or are you talking about maintaining the website?
No, this thing.
Oh, okay, okay.
The analytics report, yeah.
Okay.
I agree with you. But, you know, Diane spends time maintaining the website, and our website is fine and easy to access. But I agree the report is something I don't read generally.
Well, I look at it most of the time, but it's not something you look at and say, oh, this changed from last month or last year, or, no, I don't spend a lot of time looking at it. And I don't know how much time Diane spends on it, but it's time we're paying her that we're not, I don't think we're benefiting.
Well, it takes her focus away from other things. We do have a lot of things going on right now that are pretty significant and important, and
So my recommendation would be that we just drop it. We've had it for 5 years now, I suppose.
At least,
at
yeah.
least, yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Yep.
Can I have, do you think that with some of the changes, though, in urban renewals, the districts themselves, the closing of one and, you know, the possibility of another one, or, you know, the future possibilities, that people might, it might spark an interest to keep that, you know, to keep that going?
I don't know. What do you think, Diane?
You know, I've tried to look at the cities that are hitting on our video, and it doesn't seem to change much from month to month. It doesn't take me that long. It only takes about 15 to 20 minutes. So, you know, it's not a problem if you want me to continue, but if you're not finding the information helpful, I think that's where the point is.
Well, to be honest, exclusive of the data, there's plenty of information in our minutes and other information posted on our website. If they really wanted to know what we're doing, that's where the meat of it is. And to get a better understanding, I don't think data information like that, unless it was just some kind of spectacular responses we were getting, probably would do anybody any good.
Probably reduce it to annual, you know,
Or
do it
quarterly.
once a year.
Yeah.
Even quarter might be too much. It doesn't change much, so.
I could start with quarterly.
Okay.
That might make sense. I don't think we need to vote on that. I think that's structural.
No.
So
That's all I have.
I think that's a good suggestion. I think everybody is probably in tune with that. So we'll press on in that direction, Diane, and we'll see where it goes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Larry. Citizen comments. This section of the agenda is reserved for citizens wishing to address the commission regarding an agency-related issue. Comments related to future public hearings should be held for that public hearing. Persons wishing to speak will have 5 minutes. Anyone in the audience wish to address the commission? Seeing none, we'll move on to unfinished business. Last week, under unfinished business, it's reconsideration of a new district name. A week ago, we had a commission workshop, and a suggested list of names were brought to the commission for us to consider in naming the new district that we are working on. There was, I guess, 7 or 8 names that were proposed, and there were discussion. There was a valid motion made and a second, and then further discussion. And we voted on that, and the name that was selected is the Post Falls Technology District, which I think clearly identifies the purpose of our district that we're establishing. There's a number of other names that were given that probably have some potential, but if we keep it focused on the technology district, which I think is what we're trying to focus on. Personally, I don't see any reason to reconsider, but I'm open the door here for the commissioners to weigh in on that. Is there anyone that feels that we need to reconsider the names and try to come up with a different one for some reason. Larry?
Well, the only reason I would suggest we look at a different name, first of all, is there's way too much property in that potential district that's not related at all to the technology part of it. And if you go down 41, I don't know how far south that new district would go. Does it go to 12th Street?
It'd go to 12.
Yeah. There's a lot of businesses that, or potential businesses that are going to locate, could locate, or are located in that district now. That's not technology. I don't know. I just think that we're also, I understand there was comments from the city staff that they thought that a District 41 or something like that would be more appropriate. So I don't know if you got any comments on that, Diane?
Yeah, the city had just expressed it, and if they were choosing the name, they'd prefer something a little more generic that encompasses the whole area rather than just, the technology park, because it will be home of the Inland Northwest Technology Park. So,
Chairman, realistically, I mean, our proponent is the proponent for the technology park, and we're creating the district for the technology park. The district boundaries were primarily set to encompass the upgrades required for that entire area to develop for the sewer. So I guess in light of the city's comments, we could call it the sewer district.
Yeah, go ahead.
I always think of a district as a location factor. Where is it? And the technology park doesn't tell you where it is, so Highway 41 district makes sense to me. And there is more uses there than the technology park, and so that just identifies where the district is. That's the way most of them are.
Well, for consistency, I mean, we've had the East Post Falls District, we've had the West Post Falls District, we could call it the North Post Falls. That's one of the suggestions, North Post Falls District.
One of the things about having it labeled as the technology district would be that it might promote or provoke another proponent to consider going there because of the association with technology and the fact that it's called a technology district. So it's a two-way street or a double-edged sword, you could look at it. I think, having one proponent there might bring another, and for us to consider technology as the main reason why that district is being formed, I don't know, I kind of like that idea, just because I like the fact that if someone was looking at Post Falls to move, and it's a business that does technology, that would be a place that I would look at first and say, okay, it says a technology district, so maybe I would consider that.
Laura, do you have any comments?
I like the name. I think it encompasses what we're going for and what we're trying to build out there, so.
Thank you. And I do as well. I think it is fine. The focus initially was on the technology park, still is, and the only way it expanded to include those other properties is out of requirements that the city placed for infrastructure that they wanted to have. And I think that Rich actually made a really good comment, and that is having the technology park clearly identify their district could spur and probably will have some offshoot businesses that would be in support of, in conjunction with, the initial technology that goes in there. And it just seems to me like it fits. It's also very close to the technology schools, K-Tech and so on, that are geared that way, and you can kind of really have a good, close relationship that way as too. So, any other comments?
I guess Tullamore Housing, that's going to be in the technology district then?
No.
No.
It won't actually be in the district because it's in its own district right now.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
not going to cover that at all. We're on the other side of that.
Yeah, once the East Post Falls district closes, the Tullamore section will be,
Has been.
yeah.
Right. Well, at this point in time, there was a comment to reconsider. I would assume that the direction to go is to ask if there is a motion by chance to reconsider. If there's no motion, it'll die a natural death, and we'll press on with the name that was selected last week. Hearing none coming forward, we're going to move on and keep the district name as it is, which would be the Post Falls Technology District. Thank you all for your comments. I appreciate that. New business, Fourth Amendment to the Note Purchase and Security Agreement. Director Fountain.
Thank you. This Fourth Amendment to the Note Purchase and Security Agreement is to amend the revenue allocation proceeds in the agreement due to the de-annexation of the 30 parcels from the East Post Falls District. So it essentially is just removing those de-annexed properties from the security pledge to Washington Trust Bank for the overpass, Green Ferry overpass loan. Upon city approval of the de-annexation on July 17th, Bond Council will finalize the amendment to the note purchase agreement for the agency and the bank to sign. And then there will be a modification to the UCC filing statement to update the definition of revenue allocation proceeds. I had originally sent out an agreement, and then it was modified. And so you have in front of you the new agreement that just changes on page 2, section J, paragraph 2 has been updated to reflect the current assignment of reimbursement payments, and the new language is provided. So,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I would move the approval of the Fourth Amendment subject to City Council approval on July 17th.
Okay,
Second.
thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Rich, you do the second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Baltzell,
Aye.
Carstensen,
Aye.
Crosby,
Aye.
Horn,
Aye.
Hauser,
Aye.
Coles,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And now Resolution 2018-04.
This resolution is authorizing the amendment that you just passed related to its revenue allocation note series 2013, de-annexing those 30 parcels from the East Post Falls District.
Any discussion on the resolution? Should be straightforward, it's all related. I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I move the approval of the resolution.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Jamie, second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Carstensen,
Aye.
Crosby,
Aye.
Horn,
Aye.
Hauser,
Aye.
Coles,
Aye.
Davis,
Aye.
Baltzell.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carried. Staff report and updates.
I have been in contact with Mr. Watson, the proponent of the Expo District, and he anticipates that they will have all the necessary information to the city by tomorrow on completion of Expo Parkway and Jacqueline Road. Then the city will do a walkthrough. I should receive the reimbursement request packet from them mid-next week, and I'll get together with Welsh Comer so that they can provide a task order for those costs. We currently have $468,000 in carryover being held for the Expo District. So I'm assuming that we will be able to possibly get all that stuff passed before the end of our fiscal year. And also in the Centerpoint District, I talked to Chris Logston yesterday, and he affirmed that they have 2 deals going on that should close within the next 2 weeks. And now they have 4 industrial users out there that are interested in properties. So that should fill up the industrial portion of that district.
Is that including that significantly large one that we heard about?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, and then I just wanted to remind you of our joint workshop with the City Council next Thursday in the basement of City Hall at 8 a.m.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, any other questions of staff? Seeing none, commissioner comments. You're a quiet group today. Okay, chairman comments. I would just like to say we're 6 months into the new year, and I think things are going together well. I think with a little bit of temporary delay in moving forward with technology park, I think it's back on track and moving well. All the things are in place, and staff is working closely with the city, and I know Pete and Diane both are working with the city piece of that, along with the proponent, who is really, in my mind, an excellent person to work with. And we are really looking forward to helping that project become as successful as possible for the whole community of Post Falls. And I think there's a great opportunity for jobs and that type of thing for a long time in the future. So also like to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. And if there are no other comments, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you all for being here.